Hello. So, a very quick reflection from me today, and this is on the subject of whether what I project onto women in general is just really similar to what anyone might project onto a model, a role model, um, in terms of imagining themselves perhaps wearing the clothes if it's a fashion model, the fashion model is showing off. Giving an idea and allowing them to sort of see themselves in a rather artificial mirror. And I think that that generally is the case. That certainly seems to be the way. However, I have actually been reflecting on, I think, only a couple of occasions when I've been really conscious that there was more to my projecting, if indeed it is projecting. And I was thinking particularly of possibly the first woman I knew when I was at university, really still both of us quite young at that time, who certainly I was attracted to and very much appreciated her style in terms of, this was back in the 1980s, so whether it would work these days, but certainly her style. She had a very keen interest in makeup and fashion and so on. And I was reflecting and thinking, well, was there more to it? And I think there actually was, that I really wanted not only to take on the look, as it were, that she modeled, but also some aspects of her physical embodiment, essentially, her physicality. Not all of it by any stretch of the imagination, and certainly not the idea of wanting to jump into her body, were that possible, outside the realms of science fiction and anime. um, but actually within my own body to embody some aspects of what I saw. And I think this extended to wanting to have breasts and soft skin and certain curves, shall we say, as well as taking on the look, quite seductive looks very often that this particular girl often used to prefer, and to be able to take on board this whole look that goes beyond just all of the attachments of makeup and hair and so on. So that was an interesting reflection. This idea that my interest in dressing has not just been restricted to models of style and dress, but does extend, or albeit in just probably a couple of occasions I can think of, to embodiment, actually taking on the physicality of the woman or women that I admire. As I say, in the main, that isn't the case, and in the main, with most of the women I have, most friends and so on, it's a totally transparent thing. I'm not really interested in styles. I don't see them as mirrors. We relate much more at an interpersonal level. So whether this particularly was something to do with my stage in life at that time, I don't know. I don't think it was, because the other example I can think of where I was aware of this came much later. But an interesting reflection. It might be a question to hold open, this idea about what it is we actually do project onto others, and possibly envy, and possibly imagine by seeing in this reflection, as it were, in others, that we could embody for ourselves.